Congratulations, you've made it through quite an extensive course. We have done everything in Android from finding out about the SDK, installing it, working with the SDK manager, installing Android Studio, running emulators, working with activities, and then intents, in our case explicit intents, and then we were able to work with persistence mechanisms and see how the SQL database works, the SQLite database. We then were able to look at asynchronous tasks in order to operate off the UI thread, and we talked about the action bar as well, and even said a bit at the end about using fragments, at least in the form of a preferences fragment. So we've covered quite a lot of ground. Now, as you can see, Android is an enormous ecosystem. There is a lot of stuff to learn, but this is kind of the minimum amount you need to understand pretty much everything else that comes forward. I don't mean to imply you need to understand everything in here completely, but this will give you a kind of a survey of what's available, as well as many of the things that are used over and over and over again. You are not going to deal with any applications that don't have activities and intents running around. There are sections that go beyond this, and they will be part of subsequent videos. We have to talk about fragments in a really serious way, no matter how complicated they get. We have to talk about that. We also have to talk about services, both services that operate off the UI thread and services that are so-called bound services that can integrate back with the client activity. Works with those that way, again, using interfaces. We also should mention broadcast receivers, which respond to operating system events like a low battery or some kind of task completion. We need to talk about notifications using the notification bar, and also related notifications in the form of dialogues, like an alert dialogue or a progress bar. Subsequent courses will cover most, if not all, of those additional features, as well as interesting Gradle-related things like testing and being able to make different project flavors and variants, all very powerful characteristics. But for now, you've actually come a very long way and learned an awful lot about this ecosystem, and I hope that it leaves you in good stead. The final thing I want to show you is the GitHub repository where you can download the code at any time. My GitHub repository, again, is at github.com/my last name. My name is Ken Cousin. It's Cousin like the relative, even though it doesn't look like it. I have gone to the repositories tab, and you'll see that the Hello World AS project, Hello World Android Studio, with all of its branches is there, and the Carlos Ray database app, ICNDB_AS, is there as well. You'll also see a somewhat dated picture of me that I'm afraid I can never get rid of because I'll never have that much hair again, but so be it. These links will be available on the O'Reilly page for the video course, but regardless, so you don't have to go back there, there is the web page that has everything you need. I hope you enjoy the courses, and even better, if you enjoy the subsequent ones, I hope you wind up enjoying your Android development career.